Welcome to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, home of the 2014 Allstate Sugar Bowl LHSAA Prep Classic, presented to you by NOLA.com, the Times-Picayune. Jerit Roser here and Julie Boudwin sitting in the stands. This is a Class 4A prep preview show. We've knocked out 3. This 4A one is a big one, isn't it?
I really like all of these matchups it seems like we get every year of Neville and someone from that Carr, Easton, McDonough 35 group. Whether it be here, as we saw Neville and Carr a couple years ago in 11 and 12, and then obviously Warren Easton this year, or there's been some history of Neville and Mac 35 running into each other in second round and quarterfinal type matchups. Those matchups are great every time, pretty much.
Talk a little bit about a couple of players. I mean, you're really familiar with the Neville program, and then the Warren Easton program is just loaded with D1 recruits from, top of the roster to the bottom of the roster. Talk about a couple of those guys that if you're attending the game, you're going to hear their name mentioned time and time again.
Yeah, I guess I'll start at home in New Orleans with Deshaun Capers-Smith, Clyde LaFleur, Tyron Johnson, and all of those weapons offensively that are just doing absolutely ridiculous things. You were just talking about earlier, Deshaun's 47 touchdowns to 1 interception is such a ridiculous number to me. And a lot of that comes from being able to dump it off to some of those playmakers in the short passing game and letting them work, letting them break tackles and juke people out of their shoes and take off downfield. Defensively, Arthur McGinnis is a guy on that defensive front that'll be interesting to watch with how the Eagles can handle some of that zone read capability that Neville brings year in, year out. Folks will remember John Diarse running a few years back. Now they've got J.T. Jackson is a guy for Neville. That's certainly someone that people should watch. And they're big, playmaker in space. If they can get the ball to Cavante Turpin, he's a speedster that can make things really interesting if he gets an opportunity. And that defense is just year in, year out well coached, really sound. Years where they lose a lot of guys, they come back and have a fantastic defense anyway. And so if someone's going to be able to kind of contain Warren Easton, I think Neville maybe as good a chance as anyone.
All right, well, that leads into my last question. Talk to me about your prediction, who you're going with. I think I know who you're going to go with here, but tell us why.
Who do you think I'm going with?
Well, if I had to guess, I'm going to go with Neville.
So smart. Neville is my pick. I think Warren Easton is as talented as anyone, but I think Neville's got maybe more talent than folks in New Orleans give them credit for typically, because they do. They're a really talented football team. They've been here for the last 6 years, and they're, I don't think, going to be a team that coming down from Monroe is fazed by all this as much as some teams might be. They are fantastically well coached with Coach Mickey McCarty and that staff, and I think that they will be able to contain Easton to the degree that they need to. Easton's had some trouble in the playoffs and throughout the season with some turnover. I mean, not turnovers hurting them so much as penalties that can cause some drive-killing situations, even as talented as they can be when you're going up against defense like Neville's.
Absolutely. Well, Jerit's going with Neville for the 4A game. Lots of traffic, lots of things going on here at the Superdome. Getting ready for the games on Friday and then the Saturday games. Be sure to check out NOLA.com for all of our preview content and, of course, after the games on Friday and Saturday. That's Jerit Roser. I'm Julie Boudwin. Thanks for watching.